Hello there guys, you're listening to Ebird Online and I'm back with another review. So first up I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and I hope everybody enjoys their day with friends and family. As you know, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so it's not a holiday here, but I had planned to go to the pub, but unfortunately all the pubs in England are still closed due to the quarantine. And whilst that's fairly bad news for me, it's terrible news for you because I'm currently doing all of my reviews completely sober. And if there's one thing you need when talking about Brittany and Yazan, it's alcohol. Guys, buckle up for a bore off. So guys, today I'm going to be talking to you for what possibly could be the very last time about Brittany and Yazan's fractured relationship. Yes, this is 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way, Season 2, Episode 21, The Cost of Love. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, it's a great time over here. And thank you so much to everyone that supported me this year. My subscribers have gone through the roof, thank you so much for that. And also don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoy the video. So without further ado, I give you Brittany and Yazan. Yep, literally I give you. Please take them, I don't want to see them again. And guys, it's fair to say this story gets more and more puzzling the longer it continues. And so we first catch up with Brittany and Angela. And Brittany lets us know that they're going to meet Yazan for lunch, along with a translator. A translator? Well, apparently, Yazan's struggling to explain to Brittany exactly what the situation is with his family. And Brittany said she wants to get a deeper understanding of what's happening. And this is the only way to do it. And Brittany goes on to say, I'm hoping that Yazan can help make some of this make sense because I'm really confused. And so they meet at a restaurant and all four of them sit down for dinner. Brittany and Angela, Yazan and the translator. This sure looks like fun. I think it's fair to say all of these guys are in my top 6 dream dinner party guests. And by the sounds of things, this translator is from the UK. And he's going to put the whole situation into plain English. And this got the eBird thinking, why don't I act as a translator? And I think that will make it even clearer for you guys. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now translate what the translator says. So Yazan begins, and he tells the translator a lot of things have happened and Brittany and Angela are confused. eBird's translation. Angela knows nothing about this situation because Brittany's failed to tell her. She's failed to tell her because she's brimming with bullshit. Also, for what it's worth, Brittany barely cares. And then Yazan said, I love you and trust you, and I need for you to trust me. Translation. Everything I say hereafter is going to be massively exaggerated, and I'm not to be trusted. And Yazan continued, I'm going to go to my dad's house and tell him that I want to marry you and that I love you, but that you will remain a Christian. eBird's translation. I'm so scared of my father, I have to send my brother on my behalf. I have no intention whatsoever of ever telling him I will be marrying you, whether Muslim or Christian. But then Yazan opined, I will only do it if this is worth it, as I could lose everything in my life. So we need to get married as soon as possible. eBird's translation. I know there's absolutely no chance you'll marry me right away, if ever. Therefore my statements are tantamount to calling the whole thing off. So then Brittany said that she needed more time to think. Brittany, about what? Did you not think about this whole thing before going to Jordan? And then Yazan tells production that he wasn't going to tell her about the death threats as he may scare her off. Oh Yazan, she was never on. And so ostensibly, Yazan and Brittany want us to believe that they've paid for a translator to make things easier for them to have a very clear communication about what's happening with his family situation. But Yazan, at this meeting, has chosen to give Brittany about 10% of what is actually happening. And there's been no mention of the following. 1. Yazan's dad's threat to take Yazan's life if he marries Brittany. 2. Yazan's dad's belief that Brittany and Yazan are making pornographic movies. 3. The fact that Yazan's dad thinks that he cannot marry Brittany under any circumstances, otherwise he'll bring the family's name into disrepute. And 4. The fact that Yazan's dad has asked again and again for Brittany to take her Instagram down and she still hasn't done so, and that's a big bone of contention for him. So the main things were not discussed at all. Guys, what did you need this translator for? You've said next to nothing. And so next time we see these guys, Angela is packing to leave at the hotel. And she tells Brittany that she's really glad she met Yazan so she could put a face to a name. And she also said she's surprised he's taking this relationship so seriously. And she asked Brittany, how are you feeling about things now? And Brittany said, I feel like a weight's been lifted. But I'm really worried about everything that he said is going on with his family. That's stressing me out right now. And Brittany said she understood now why he didn't stand up to his parents because they would potentially disown him. Oh Brittany, you don't know the half of it. But then Angela did point out to Brittany that Yazan is all in and willing to risk it all, but she's far more hesitant. And then Angela said, so what next? Does his family know you're here? And Brittany said, well, I did tell Yazan that I wanted to get more information, and I wanted to speak to someone in his family so I could understand a little more, and I feel like it's my duty to speak to one of his family members and see what's really going on. And to explain that he just wants to be happy in his life, and I just want to know if you guys can accept that. Guys, for the life of me, I don't know why this was such a laboured conversation on Brittany's part. And it's almost as if when she's talking, she's trying to work out her narrative, trying to work out what she's supposed to be saying. I can literally hear the echoes inside her skull. And Angela seems as puzzled as we all do. And she tells production Brittany's gotten herself into the middle of a very serious situation. And so she continues and tells Angela she's going to go meet with his brother Ebird today, again with the translator. And Brittany starts waffling once more. I hope he doesn't say anything super crazy, and I'm just gonna keep an open mind and an open heart, and hopefully we can resolve things. She really does talk some twaddle. And like I say, I really just don't know why this whole conversation is so difficult for her. It's as if she's just making things up to say as she goes along. It's so bizarre. So next time we see Brittany, she's meeting up with Ebird and the translator. Again, just in case you need the Ebird, I've made my services available. And so Brittany turns up wearing a shirt, buttoned up to the neck, and trousers. And I'm so glad that finally she's decided to respect the dress code of Jordan. And Brittany tells us that Ebird doesn't really like her. She said, when I first came, it seemed like he sort of liked me, then he got to know me, and then he didn't like me. Oh Brittany, that's a very, very common trajectory. And so the unlikely trio go to meet on top of a hill. And they greet each other, and Brittany sits down and she says, I want to get a clear picture of what's going on with your family. And then Ebird said, talk, I'm listening. Translation, what do you want? Brittany said, I love Yazan and I want to be with him, but I don't feel comfortable if you guys don't want that. And Ebird said, I don't know what to tell you. The family doesn't accept this marriage because he's abandoning his culture and his traditions to be with you. But then Ebird said, there are people in the family who want to kill Yazan because it's affecting the entire family. Brittany covered her face and she burst into tears. Ebird said, please don't cry, but he didn't make a move towards her. And TLC, wow, TLC let me down. They failed to show her face, so she was crying. Every time she moved her hand from her face, it didn't zoom in, so we couldn't really see if it was one of those tearless cries or if she actually was crying. And guys, let me know down below, did you think she was really crying, or I'm not really sure. But then Ebird did go over after a while and he wiped her cheeks as if he was wiping away tears. Although you never know with Brittany, he could have just been smoothing out her foundation. And then Ebird said he's lost a lot but he'll never lose me, I'm his brother. But Brittany's still crying, and all this crying has had a catastrophic effect on her eyelashes. Either that or she's completely inept at supplying them. I'll let you be the judge. And Brittany said, I don't want him to lose his family, I feel really guilty. If I convert to Islam, would this help? And Ebird said no, being a Muslim is a conviction. You need to actually believe it. You can't just do it to appease us. And then he finished up by saying, just do what you want to do and I'll try and cover everything up and protect you. But just make sure that you take care of Yazan. And then to production he said later, I wasn't really sure about Brittany before, but I think for her to be crying like that, she must really love him. And then Brittany says to production she doesn't want to go through the relationship if she has to think about the safety of Yazan. And she needs a little bit of time to think about things. Brittany always needs time to think. What you also need to think, Brittany, is a brain. You need your brain to think. And that might prove to be the problem. And that's where we leave things for this week. So what does the Ebird make of all this? Well, I find it just really strange that it took so long for this information about Yazan's dad's death threat to actually come out. Yazan's got quite good English, I think. And so I don't know why he couldn't have just told Brittany straight up. And Yazan said earlier, I don't want to tell Brittany because it might scare her off. Well, what did you think your brother was going to say then? Because your brother just told her straight away. And I also thought that the meeting with Ebird was pretty performative. I didn't really buy into it at all. I'm not quite sure if Brittany was crying or not. The jury's still out on that, so let me know what you think. But he didn't mention her Instagram. He didn't mention these salacious pictures. And even when she said, if I convert to being a Muslim, would that help? Really, if you're just going to try and cover things up and help your brother along, you would just tell your parents, she's converted to Islam and she believes every word. She's really into it. How are they going to know one way or the other? And then finally, I find that Abida's mind was far too easily changed. But now suddenly, on production of A Few Tears, he concludes she must really, really love Yazan. I'm sorry, but I just don't buy it. By show of hands, who takes Brittany seriously? Anybody? I thought not. I think this is all super convenient, so that Brittany's gotten out to this relationship. She described his behaviour earlier as sketchy and dodgy, which I don't find is true. She said, I'm not sure what's happening with this relationship. Again, you do know what's happening. You're supposed to be moving to Jordan, taking your Instagram down, and getting married within a couple of months. That's what's supposed to be happening. So it's for you to say, yes, I want that, or no, I don't. And before anyone says anything, it's not that I think the whole relationship has to be on Yazan's terms. But the simple fact of the matter is, you're going to be living in Jordan. These are the laws of the land. These are the societal norms of the place you're going to be living in. So it's kind of incumbent upon you to potentially do more changing than if he were coming to live in America. So guys, let me know what you think. Are you finally, like I am, completely bored by this whole storyline now? Please put your comments down below, and I have a special treat for you tomorrow. I'm finally going to weigh in on the relationship of Jenny and Sumit. I had tried to refrain, but so many people have been asking me in comments. And so tomorrow or Saturday, I'm just going to do a complete roundup of the whole relationship and give you guys my take on it. So that's everything for today. Guys, enjoy your turkey, enjoy your drinks, enjoy your day. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you've yet to do so, and I will see you very soon with another video. You've been listening to Ebird Online. Ciao for now.